Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear. I see the thumbs up. All right, amazing. Good. Let's get this party started. How is everyone doing? Better? Uh, Better? Okay. All right. Let's get into it. So, first of all, for the people who are brand new or who are watching this morning session for the very first time, if it's live, if it's through the recording, what we do here is pretty simple. We want to trap price in between a support and resistance, and then we want to wait for the breakout and the retest to follow, of course, the direction of that breakout. How does that look? Well, pretty simple. Let's just say you have an uptrending market. Let me just draw it like this. What we simply want to recognize or want to find in the markets are the highs and the lows, all right? In these trending markets, you will see that the market will create a series of higher highs and higher lows. What we want to do is we want to trap the market in between a high and a low. The moment we see the market breaking out of that high, for example, this one, we want to wait for the market to go down for that retest, to retest at least that high, and then follow the breakout direction. Of course, the opposite, same thing, okay? Downtrending market, again, trapping highs and lows, waiting for the breakout, waiting for the retest, and then, of course, following the breakout direction. Just a pretty quick and basic view on the strategy. A lot of people know this already, but if you're new here, this is basically what we are doing. And if you want to know more, simply go to my YouTube channel. I do this every single week. I think I'm doing this since the beginning of the year, somewhere in February. So yeah, just watch as many recordings as you can to really get into this strategy. I'm good, thank you. Amazing. At 75%, almost there, bro. Almost there. What do you think of the markets this week? In my opinion, very choppy price action. Yeah, we don't really have the best markets, but we shall see. We will trap it. We will see. We follow our rules, and as long as you stick to your trading plan, we are all good. But let's just first start with trades from last week, because last week we did have some opportunities there. The very first one was ADCHF. What do we see on ADCHF? Yeah, that was basically a live entry. I showed you guys what I was looking for. I gave you the entry, I gave you the stop loss, I gave you the take profit as an example, of course, all right, as an educational example. And like you guys see, what did we have? The breakout, we had the retest. I told you guys, I want to see that engulfing close, and then I would be very interested in this idea. So we had 30-minute engulfing, we had the 50-minute engulfing, and for me personally, it was especially that 5-minute time frame where I found a beautiful reaction. And like you can see, we went for like a 6 pip stop, 18 pip take profit, 103 risk to reward it was in after a few hours, like at 2 p.m. We did already had our take profit one. After that, of course, we went back to the break even part. So if you go for trend trading, of course, your second order would be break even. But the first one was a beautiful 1-on-3 risk to reward. So again, for the new people, what I showed you in the beginning, what did we do? We found a high, we found a low, we wait for the market to break out of that, we wait for the market to give us that pullback, that retest back into the zone, and then we follow the breakout direction, okay? It's as simple as that. Let's move on to the next one. ADJPY, same exact thing. We get the breakout, we get the retest, we see a beautiful morning star, 30-minute time frame, again, beautiful engulfing candle, 50-minute time frame, also beautiful engulfing candle. The only difference is, on ADCHF, the market came back to my entry. Here, the market didn't. The market just took off without me. And if you're asking yourself, like, yeah, but when do I delete my entry? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. My target zone was already hit, and then market started to come down again. So then you just want to delete it because the market did already do what you wanted to see. Okay? Thank you, bro. We'll see each other more often right now. Good. So, what have we seen on CHF JPY? Market broke out to the downside, but there was a very dangerous thing. All right. What you want to know about price trap is we prefer the trending direction. So, what is the trending direction on CHF JPY if you see this? Up, right? So, the market broke to the downside. We know this is a higher risk idea because we are going against the trend of the market. We are going against the direction of the market. We prefer to follow it, but that doesn't mean I go against it. Or I don't go against it. I do go against it if I get my breakout, if I get my price action. But right over here was pretty obvious, in my opinion, that the market wasn't ready to go down from this point because we rejected massively from this demand zone. Still, you could find yourself an entry here, all right? So the market broke out, came back to the retest. We did have some price action to the downside on the 30-minute time frame, on the 15-minute time frame, even the 5-minute time frame. If you all go all the way back there, let me reset this. Let me get back to that retest here. So even on the 5-minute time frame, you saw the break of structure coming back to the retest, but the market, yeah, I think it was only a few pips that the market gave us here. My entry should be around this area. Yeah, we only went for 25 pips in profit with a 20 pip stop. So one-on-one was hit, but that's it. Further than that, we didn't get. All right, so that's for CHF JPY. Did you completely change your concept because before you worked with the Fibonacci on engulfing and now you're using break of structure on 5-minute time frame? Yeah, that's a little change. I put it on for myself. I do like having that structure on that 5-minute time frame, finding myself these entries. But it doesn't mean that these engulfing candles doesn't work anymore. You could say like the 5-minute time frame is like an extra confirmation that shows us that the market wants to turn around and go in the direction we want to look at. Um, and that's the reason why I personally like to add it into the strategy. But of course, the FIB levels on the engulfing candles still works perfectly fine, of course. Okay. What have we seen on Euro CHF? Market broke out, came back for the retest, but like you can see, we never had any candles showing us we wanted to go up. This is so simple. This is so obvious. Look at this massive move to the downside. We started breaking the other direction. Okay. We started breaking structure to the downside. So that's the moment you know you should delete this idea or this price trap. Let's move on. Yes. What you want to do is like if the market breaks out and comes back for the retest, you want to check like all time frames. So the question in chat box is do you wait before the entry for a 15-minute and 30-minute engulfing? Yes, I do. What you want to see is you want to see the 1 hour, the 30, and the 15-minute time frame, all three of them showing you that there is price action pointing your way. All right. So, for example, breakout to the upside. We want to see engulfing candles to the upside. We want to see morning stars. We want to see rejections, dojis, and so on and so forth. The moment I get my retest back into my 5-minute structure, the exact entry, maybe this is for later. I'm not going to do this today. But just know that it's a little bit a 5-minute price trap you're looking for. A breakout and retest of that of high or low. Depends the direction, of course. Good, let's move on. GCAT, what do we see? We see the breakout. Market did give us a very fast retest. I showed you guys this so many times. We have two type of retest. We have a very fast one and we have the big one. All right. I prefer the big one. Okay. Because that's mostly of the time that's the trending one. That's the one that really pushes the market in the direction it is following for the last couple of days. If you see a small retest or a fast retest like that, mostly of the time it's just creating the next low to then move on in the trend we're looking for. In this case, it's not like that. Like you can see, market just shoot it like crazy. But yeah, that's basically the two types of retests you can find yourself on the price traps. If you would look at price action, what do we see? 1 hour engulfing. Look at that. 30-minute engulfing. Look at that. 15-minute engulfing. All right. So all the three time frames showed us on that very small retest that we were changing direction. But like you can see on the 5 minute time frame, yeah, you could say we have a breakout of this high and a small retest of it, but that's not really what I'm looking for. What I would be looking for, this is not a good example, not a great example, but let me just show you. This would be the high. I wanted to see the market breaking, coming back, entering, and then moving to the direction we are looking for. There we go. That's for GCAT. Yeah, yeah. Indeed, I'm not sure. It was yesterday the first time I saw that. There was, I think it was Euronews. I'm not sure. Around this nine o'clock in the morning, something like that. There was Euronews, but it wasn't displayed on Forex Factory. Um, and other news also. So USD news, Euronews, USD news. I gotta remember. But 16 o'clock also. Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday was the first time I saw that Forex Factory wasn't updated or yeah, um, showing us the news while there was news. So I will have to check into that. But thanks for letting know that you also saw that. You saw that for the third time already. Oof, that's not good. We will have to change them. All right, let's talk about GN. For GN, I was looking for GN to get back all the way back to this high here. The first retest here gave price action, rejection to the downside, 1 hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, engulfing candle, 15-minute time frame. Look at that. Let's move on. Yeah, we did had some engulfing, some rejection candles. So yeah, if you mix this, so all three time frames, and then you mix that with the 5 minute, this was the very first breakout of the lows, came back for the retest, and then yeah, and it didn't really give an exciting move, like you can see. Let me just check where I would put my reaction here. Yeah, 20 pips stop, market went for 40 pips in profit. That's not really what we're looking for. Then the market pushed higher. News manipulation. Yeah, I'm not sure. We will have to check into that. Because if Forex Factory isn't updated enough and is not showing us the news events, we really need to change that. But I will check into that. All right, then GN went higher. We saw some, yeah, trying to create price action. Like you can see, market rejected to the upside, not really fully engulfing. 30-minute time frame. We did engulf. 50-minute time frame. Let me check. Yeah, we got that push here, like the three on my chart, the three black soldiers, the candlestick pattern, but the 5 minute time frame never really broke structure. You see why I wait for that 5 minute? It's just a small thing, but looking at this, it was obvious that the market wasn't ready yet. And if we do get some kind of breakouts on the 5 minute time frame, we do get some kind of movement in our direction. Okay, so that's for GM. Hope not. Almost cost me a lot of money. Yeah, can imagine if you don't know the news. It's important, of course. Good. Then we had UJ, last one. Market went down. Did it break? Yes. No. It was a little. Yeah. It did break though. We did had a candle closure below this little wick here, but of course we want to have a clear breakout. And the clear breakout, I think this one was pretty clear, right? Uh, so like you can see, if you want to watch both retests, let's just go over both of them. Market came back for the retest, 1 hour time frame wasn't that clear, so price action was very hard there. 30-minute time frame, same exact thing. 15-minute time frame. I remember this one. What was engulfing, like you can see, 5 minute time frames. Yeah, didn't really show me what I personally like to see. We do create some downtrending structure here, but that's not really what I'm looking for. So for me, it was very hard to react on this one, or I didn't react, basically because of this, and because the price action wasn't really on point there. Market did break out though, then came back, showed us a beautiful 1 hour rejection candle. 30-minute time frame was showing us that morning or no, that evening star, excuse me. And then we had the same 50-minute time frame engulfing candles. And if we then take a look at that 5 minute time frame, so this is the last point of structure. This is the low that created the high. Market comes back below. Boom. Retest. Find yourself an entry around 25 pips top. And yeah, I think this is obvious that the 103 was in the game. All right. So if you just basically waited for another good breakout, this was a beautiful moment to react. Let's just say on that breakout of a 5 minute time frame. Let's just say 30 pip top stop loss, 200 pip drop. So yeah, I think a 103 was very possible there. Good. Um, yeah, a clear break of structure and then the retest of that break of structure. All right. Good. What I'm gonna do right now is going through the charts and seeing if we have any price traps. Let me know if you're looking at some price traps or some charts that are looking interesting because we don't really have the most beautiful charts. We started the session with saying that. I immediately got it in the chat box, and yeah, it's true. We don't really have the most beautiful price traps for today. I do like ADUSD though, so that will be the first one for this week. Canadian CHF. Whew, this is like buy from yesterday on ADJPY. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What you could do with ADJPY is this, like trap it like this. I do like the structure though. Really, I do. But please be aware that this gap below can act as a massive demand to push the market higher. Okay? So there we go. Let me put it in there. I do like ADJPY, ADSD, ADUSD. Yes, love it. What do you mean, like an indicator that shows you the imbalances? Like this? I can just do this away. Because I created one myself also to show the imbalances and the gaps on the charts. Canadian CHF, was this a price drop from yesterday? I do think so. Yes, it was. We were looking for this structure, this one here, price drop. There we go. Let me check because maybe we do have some price action, and maybe we do have a possible entry here, but we should be already in, or you should be running this already. And where? Well, let me show you. So what do we see? 1 hour engulfing, right? So 1 hour time frame, check. 30-minute time frame. Evening star, check. 15-minute time frame. Engulfing candles, yeah, not really the most clean, but check. And then the 5 minute, like I said, you should be in already. This was a break of structure in the retest. What's this ugly candle here? I think this will be news, something like that. So this would be the entry around that area. Stop loss above the high. This is 3.6. Yeah, I would say 6 pips, something like that. But like you can see this wick. Was this wick everywhere or was there news or something? Otherwise this would be a stop loss, right? Of course, depends where the market shoot it first, down or up. I don't know what happened there. Okay. It just prints candles in your gaps. Spread hour. Ah, okay. Yeah, then you delete your stop loss, of course. Thanks for saying this. Wow. I think I still need to wake up a little here. Spread hour, one of the most basic things. Thanks for reminding me. That's the beauty about community. If you miss out on something, someone will see it. No, 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 definitely not. Definitely not. You could react before that, but I would wait till after spread hour, of course. So never react on spread out. Euro Canadian, I have the same. So I saw you sending out Euro Canadian. Then you have Euro Pound. Euro CHF, maybe. Let me first trap Euro CHF here. Like this. Not the most clean one, but yeah. Oh, we have a high, we have a low. That's good. There we go. Then you also had Euro Pounds. Choppy. Yeah, it is choppy. I'm gonna stay away from Euro Pound personally. You also have Euro USD. Oh, Euro JPY was also one from last week, right? I didn't cover this. Breakout retest. Engulfing candle, yeah. I totally forget about this one. Damn. 15 minute, yeah. Let me check. 5 minutes. Nah, a little bit hard. Low, high, maybe this low here. Breakout retest, but choppy, choppy. Not the most clean. Check. The oh, you mean like the imbalance indicator I just showed you? I will have to check how I can fix this. GA, pum pum pum. Euro USD, you also trapped it? Nah, I'm personally gonna stay away from that. Not really convinced about it. I do like GA though. Clean structure, clean high and low. Following the trending direction also. You see, downtrending structure. Breaking to the downside, waiting for that retest. GCAT, nope. No gaps candle indicator. I'm gonna check that indicator. But personally, I do like the gaps on my charts, of course. I want to know where the gaps are because mostly of the time these things gets filled up. Not immediately, but for example, right now with 80 JPY, we still have a gap below our support zone. GU was also a price run from last week. Also didn't cover it. Damn, son. I'm really not awake today. Good morning, bro. Um, Here we did get some price action, right? Oof, this would be a very close one. Market break structure here on the 5 minute, coming back for that retest. I did not react on this one last week. 17.2, so I would go for 20. Let me check. Did we get something out of here? Yeah, basically. Beautiful. Almost 1 on 8 risk to reward there. Simple structure, simple high, simple low. We could trap this one also. If you have a specific question on a specific pair, don't hesitate. Always here to provide as much value as I can. When's the USD? Yeah, let me put on this structure here. What about Euro USD? I personally don't like Euro USD at this point. I don't like the structure, I don't like the highs, the lows. Nah, I'm gonna stay away. Same for gold, staying away here. Yeah, I just don't like what I'm seeing here. You could trap it like, for example, here and here. It's a massive trap. Oof, price action is creating. Tweezer top, 30-minute morning star, 50-minute engulfing, 5 minute time frame breakout. Nah, the price action was in place there for the sell. That's your trap? Yeah. I'm personally gonna stay away from that one. But definitely breakout of the low, so market is pushing right now. Good, that will be it for today. So first one, 80 JPY, watch out for the gap here. 80 USD, Canadian CHF, yeah, that's basically a price one from yesterday. Let me delete that. Right now, I'm gonna stay away from that one. Euro Canadian, Euro CHF, GA waiting for the retest. I think this is obvious. GN, same thing. NZD Canadian waiting for the retest. NZD USD waiting for the breakout. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8 price traps, more than enough for this week. We only need 2 profitable ones with a beautiful 1 on 3 risk to reward, and a lot can happen. Okay, yeah. I did rework the Discord. There are a lot of channels deleted. There was way too much noise. So I wanted to center the energy and not have like all these separate groups, because you're separating the energy, and that's not what we want. All right. So good, but let me go over the crypto to close off. No. Let me first check the news. I hope this is everything because of the Forex Factory doing difficult. But here we got the PPI on USD at 230. We also have at 115 the NZD news. These are the two things you firstly wanna check and keep an eye out on. We also have the CPI on USD coming out tomorrow. So please, this is also a pretty big one together with the euro. So from 2 till 3, you really want to pay attention in the charts. The GDP from pounds is also coming, and for the rest, that's it. All right. So these are the news events I'm personally looking for. Of course, I'm going to check it later on if yeah, Forex Factory is doing not really updating like it should be, but we shall see. All right. Good. Let me check what crypto is doing. So the weekly doesn't really give us that engulfing. I wanted to see an engulfing candle to really get myself a confirmation to see the market going higher again. On the daily time frame, we keep respecting the lower highs here. We are creating a lot of equal highs, so that's maybe a sign. Same thing for the 4 hour time frame. We did create some kind of bullish price action here, but I want to see that break of structure, right? On the 1 hour, it's very clear. Like you can see, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, happening time and time again. But now we really need to get above this high here. All right, this high here. Okay, so I keep the same vision. We can or break out and retest to the upside. Of course, we can also see, for example, a breakout of structure here to the downside, and then see the market going lower. So it depends. What are we breaking? The highs or the lows? Okay, that's the big question. For the dominance, yeah, we are like consolidating, not really doing anything right now. Still have a bearish push the last couple of days, but not really the moves we have seen right over here. And that's also a little bit the reason, or that's also why we see that Ethereum is consolidating here and not really having a direction, also because it's not really showing a lot of power for the moment. So same thing here like last week, waiting for breakouts and retests. Doesn't matter which side we're going, of course. We can also see a breakout retest to the downside like this and go lower around the 3,800, 3,750, something around that area could be still possible for Ethereum. But at this point, same thing like last week. I can't say a lot about crypto because yeah, we are basically doing absolutely nothing. All right. Um, He did up beautifully how the market retested and is now creating a bullish push here. What I wanted to see for these lower coins is, of course, breaking structure here. Same thing for Uniswap. Uniswap also beautifully broke out and gave us a retest. So let's see what we will get from that one. Ripple is also pushing higher, going for the structure. So there is a very high chance we will see something like this. So the retest to then push higher again. Stellar, exactly the same thing. We also have Solana, which is creating some good bullish price action, showing some power there. So that's really good. Cardano, exactly the same thing. Ethereum, Bitcoin is giving us a breakout retest, and Solana, Bitcoin, same exact thing. I wanted to see that deeper retest though, but it didn't happen. Okay, market is just taking off without us or without me. Um, after creating this higher low, I warned you guys. I'm not sure if I said it on the public session, but I said it definitely on one of my Zoom calls. Like, guys, this is a higher low. Watch out because this could be the push for Solana. And if we see a Solana BTC push, we see a Solana push itself also. Okay. That's the reason why you see me opening these charts so many times because it gives us so much information, right? If you see Ethereum, Bitcoin, for example, I was screaming, alt season is coming the moment we were breaking that structure and getting that retest. So I was saying in the beginning of the summer, like before July, that the alts will be starting to pop, and that's what we have seen with Ethereum, especially Ethereum right over here. Simple structure, guys. You see that? Break of highs, retest, boom, market takes off. Get yourself or be a pro in recognizing highs and lows, and you will see how everything will change investment wise and trading wise. Good, that's it. I think I'm through it. Yeah, I'm ready. That will be it for the upcoming week. Let's see what kind of week we will get. As long as you keep following your plan and keep following your risk rules, everything should be good. Any more questions? I still have 5 minutes left. So let me know if you have any more questions. If not, we will be closing off this session and we see each other back next week, of course, 8:30 on Wednesday, like usual. For the people who sent me private through Instagram or Telegram to get into my Discord channel, I will get back to you. I was just changing up some things in the Discord channel. I wanted to make some things more clear, more clean. This happened now, so I will get back to you. What was it again? No gaps. This one? The first one? Yes, yes. Let me get back to ADJPY. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it is. It is clear. So it's still clear. That's something good that the gap is there because for me personally, I find it very nice to have the gaps on my charts or that it's visual for me that the gaps are there. We've never seen this before. Well, we got a gap also over here, over here. Yeah, nice. And then, or on the indicator. Okay. So like this. Let me get back to ADJPY. Okay, and then the gaps are completely gone. Mm-hmm. It's still projected as imbalance. So yeah. To my colors I want. Yeah, okay. Okay, nice, nice. Again, something new I'm learning here. At this point, I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna look into it. But yeah, never seen that before. Thank you for sharing. Anything else? I don't see anything coming into the chat box, so I would say we leave it with this for today. If you have any questions coming up during the trading week or during trading, yeah, the upcoming week, just note down these questions and come back to my sessions to ask them. All right? Do you had any losing week the past months? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I do have losing weeks the past months, or I did have losing weeks the past months. That's part of the game. If you're worried about a losing week, don't worry about it. It's just your edge playing out. Sometimes you will have a losing streak, but it mostly of the time just plays out because we have a beautiful edge. We have a 1 in 3 risk to reward. You only need to be right 40% of the time. So 4 out of 10. So if you have six stop losses at a row, chances are high you will have 4 take profits after that. I'm not going to say it's going to be in that order, of course, but looking at the long term, that's no problem. Okay. Usually it goes in between like 10 to 15. That's what I'm aiming at. Of course, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. That's always a little difference. With 0.5. On my personal and small accounts, it's more. Then I'm making more, of course. But it's with 0.5. But good. I'm gonna leave it with that. For the people who are here in Belgium, yeah, I know. I know. It's just consistency. It's just consistency. That's the most important part. But good. For the people who are here in Belgium, we see each other tonight in Lokeren, of course, for our weekly trade cafe. And of course, for the people who are in the exclusive part of our Discord, we see each other back tomorrow morning. For the people who are here right now, we see each other back next week, Wednesday, for another beautiful price web session. Enjoy this beautiful week. Like I said, stick to the plan, stick to your risk, and let's get some pips. All right. See you very soon again. Ciao, ciao.